It's Friday, February 7th, and time for your Barbados Today Morning News Update. He's still president of the Barbados Union of Teachers, but Sean Spencer is not at all happy about the public attention the representative body has had to endure over the past few weeks. Spencer remains in the post after an attempt to oust him on Thursday afternoon through a no-confidence motion fell flat. The meeting, which started around 4:30 p.m., ended prematurely when former Public Relations Officer Dwayne Goddard produced an unconstitutional motion of no confidence. Our KAREEM Smith was there and has a full report.
Deputy General Secretary Rich Marcave explained that written correspondence sent by Mr. Goddard to the union indicated that a no-confidence motion would be brought against the union's leadership. But when Goddard turned up at the meeting, he attempted to bring the motion against the president.
The members, which is the highest decision-making body, offered the mover and the seconder of the motion to withdraw the motion they brought against the leadership, against the president, and proceed with the motion against the leadership as we came here to discuss, and they refused. So therefore, there was nothing to proceed on because the motion was unconstitutional, and therefore there was nothing for us to discuss or vote on.
In a brief interview after the meeting, Mr. Goddard admitted that the slight technicality was his fault. While the ex-PRO was not allowed to present his case, Barbados Today understands Mr. Spencer would have been called to account for his leadership amid a range of alleged irregularities. He also denied the motion was a personal or political attack against Mr. Spencer and said he was simply exercising his right to hold the union's leadership to account. But Mr. Spencer disagreed, declaring the entire event a fiasco and admitting he was angry at continuous attempts to bring public division within the union's ranks.
This is not about me, but some person seem destined to make it all about me. This is not Sean's union. I came and found this union. And I would like to think when I leave it, it will be stronger. But the divisiveness at heart, at the core of this malicious act, it says nothing good. And I'm angry, not personally, because even though it's been made to be a personal issue based on what we heard here, this is to suffer all of us.
In the meantime, Mr. Goddard remains adamant that although the BUT's annual conference is in April, he may very well attempt to remove the president before that date. KAREEM Smith for Barbados Today.
In other news this Friday, the public is being assured that everything possible is being done to ensure a steady year-round water supply. It's coming from Wilfred Abrams, Minister responsible for water resources, amid warnings by Met officials of a hot and dry year as drought conditions persist. Minister Abrams says the Barbados Water Authority is considering all mitigating options.
We're looking at every aspect of mitigation. This is one step, trying to fix all of the bursts. We're trying to upgrade our pumping stations. We are looking at using wastewater inland as a way of not use, because right now the Water Authority pumps potable drinking water. All the water that we use in Barbados, whether it's for washing cars, whether it's for washing down the roads, whether it's for construction, is good, top quality drinking water. That does not make sense. So we're looking at all these things. We're also looking as a government at the possibility of dual plumbing codes so that people plumb their houses, that you don't flush the toilet with potable water, but you use rainwater. We're also looking at desal. Desal is a legitimate and reasonable option. Actually, it's a must in the future. But we're not going into desal in the same way that the last government sought to go into desal. The last government sought to go into desal in a way that made no sense to the Barbados Water Authority.
In the meantime, he's urging residents to conserve the precious commodity.
If we know as a country that our water reserves are low, while they may not affect you directly at home because of where you're situated and your proximity to the distribution system, while it may not affect you, is affecting somebody else. So the water that you waste is water that could be going to somebody else. So I'm urging Barbadians going forward. And this is not just until we get a fix. This is a life-changing decision and approach. We need to stop wasting water. We need to start investing in personal tanks. We need to start investing in water-saving appliances, shut-off faucets, water-saving shower heads, everything like that. When we start to build buildings, now we need to build with that in mind. We need to concentrate on putting renewable energy into our mix. So we need a complete change in the way that we have lived before.
Prominent local businessman Ralph Busy Williams is eager to answer government's call to invest in the economy. However, the length of time to get the necessary approvals is causing him much concern. Authorities have been urging private sector officials to take the lead and invest more in the economy to help bring about a much-needed economic growth. But while lauding government's efforts to improve the ease of doing business on the island, Busy said that the time it took for projects to be approved was still too long. He made the comments during the recent Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry luncheon.
We are very much interested in expanding rapidly. Prime Minister, believe me, we are very keen on doing what you are looking to do, and Mr. Greenwich, to expand and grow the economy, for sure. But we're still taking too long to get permissions and licenses. We got about 4 things to do before you can get you can start a system going on it. It's taken a long time, and it's very frustrating.
Energy system?
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking? Which system, Busy?
Systems to put in photovoltaics. We have lots of area that we want to do it.
And believe you me, we are on the same wavelength. But this country is still a country governed by the rule of law.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
To developments from the region, St. Lucia's primary healthcare facility, the Victoria Hospital, suspends elective and day surgeries due to an increase in the number of patients in the intensive care unit. We get more of that story in this HTS News report.
The situation at St. Lucia's premier public health facility, the Victoria Hospital, has reached breaking point. The perennial problem of the shortage of beds has moved from acute to overwhelming. This has prompted the unprecedented move by the hospital's medical director, Dr. Alicia Eugene Ford, to publicly announce that only emergency surgeries will be undertaken at Victoria Hospital.
We are having to suspend elective surgery because of the number of cases we have coming to ICU. We've noticed that the cases that are coming in are cases that are chronic non-communicable diseases and the complications. You're looking like hypertension, diabetes, and the complications. We have younger persons having these diseases or being diagnosed with these illnesses, and we have older persons living longer because they're getting medications.
So why has the historical challenge of the shortage of beds become so bad? The answer: the increase in non-communicable diseases like diabetes, plus the upsurge in violent crimes and accidents are taking their toll.
We also have a situation where we have a lot of motor vehicle accidents. A lot of young guys driving bikes, they get head trauma. We have persons drinking and driving, and so you get situations where persons actually have injuries.
And finally, the World Health Organization says it will convene a global research and innovation forum next week to mobilize international action in response to the new coronavirus. The forum will bring together key players, including leading scientists, public health agencies, ministries of health, and research funders. It is also expected to fast-track the development and evaluation of effective diagnostic tests, vaccines, and medicines, while establishing mechanisms for affordable access to vulnerable populations, among other things.
To put it bluntly, we're shadow boxing. We need to bring this virus out into the light so we can attack it properly. That's why on February 11 and 12, we're convening a global research and innovation forum to identify research priorities and coordinate the international research effort to find therapeutics and vaccines. The Wuhan people and Hubei province in general, they're paying a lot. And first of all, I would like to appreciate them and thank them for their cooperation and for believing that the actions they're taking, it protects their people and also it protects the rest of the world. And doing this for humanity is something beyond words.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.